The night is quiet, but the drama, oh darling, it's never been louder. You may have forgotten all about your favorite nighttime soaps, but Miss Kane, she never did. She's been watching all the affairs, the betrayals, and the big hair, and now she's here to tell you everything you missed, or perhaps just forgot. This is Drama After Dark. Slip into something comfortable, and let's catch you up.
Well, bless my soul, if it ain't the morning of the annual Ewing barbecue. And just as punctual as ever, Bobby strolls in, right on time, to see Daddy Jock himself escorting his prized bourbon, treating it like royalty he is. And standing guard with him is our Tilly, bless her heart, keeping this family fed and in line for over a decade she has. Bobby makes his small talk, all sweet as pie, then just casually drops the bomb. Pam's daddy is coming. Jock calls him Willard Barnes, but the rest of Dallas calls him Digger. And honey, judging by the look on Jock's face, neither name sits well with him. Bob is talking truce, but Jock's thinking, not in my house. And with Tilly soaking in every word, you just know she'll be serving that brisket with a generous side of gossip before the day is done. Well, at Cliff's place, Pam is on a mission, you see. And that mission? Honey, it's all about making Digger look presentable for his grand return to the Ewing ranch. He's sober now, bless his heart, but it's still an uphill battle every day. And, let me tell you, no one but Pam is looking forward to this reunion. Jimmy stretched out on the bed, looking all comfortable in a shirt Pam just flat out rejects. She wants him looking like a full-on hayseed for the occasion, and that shirt ain't selling it, not one bit. Cliff tries to back Jimmy up, but he's the only one skipping the barbecue, so his vote doesn't count for much, does it? Meanwhile, Digger's getting fitted with a tie, and the conversation just drifts straight into decades-old grudges. He's still tallying up every little slight. The oil he found that Jock profited from, the partnership that turned sour, and the final blow, losing Ellie to him. In Digger's telling of the story, she was sugar one minute, shotgun the next, and always a firecracker. Cliff finally asks the obvious, bless his soul. Why even go? Digger admits he hates Jock, but says he's going because Pam begged him. And maybe the fact that his little girl married Ellie's son means something, though even he can't say what that something is, can he? Well, if it ain't Pam pulling up to the Ewing ranch with a smile brighter than a Texas sunrise. Land sakes, whatever's got her in such a state, she's clinging to it like a prized pearl, and nothing's gonna shake it loose, not yet anyway. Outside, Sue Ellen's in full event mode, directing coffee and punch deliveries with the calm of a general commanding troops. Not a hair out of place, just determined to keep this party on the rails. Pam's barely out of the car before she's told to move it for the florist truck. She hands the keys off to Lucy, who's already fishing for details about this cousin Jimmy she's heard tell of. Bobby's already given her the preview, but Pam's trying to play it down, saying Jimmy's practically a babe in arms compared to Lucy. Lucy's intrigued, all right. But Pam's tone makes it clear, in her eyes, Jimmy's sweet, harmless, and not even in the same universe as Lucy's brand of trouble. Then, lo and behold, JR appears, sizing up Pam's overly sunny disposition and tossing out a jab about what kind of cannon she was shot at her. He may be smiling, but he's already clocking that something's up. Now, Pam's in her room, love. The party noise just fading away as she quietly rings up the doctor. She was in just this morning, and now she's ready for the answer she's been breathlessly waiting for. A pause, holding on a bit, and then the news. The test came back positive. She's pregnant. Her face just lights up like a Christmas tree, equal parts awe and excitement, like the whole world just did a little jig in the best way possible. She thanks the doctor, hangs up, and for a moment, she just sits with it. The kind of news you want to savor before the whole world gets wind of it, you know? Bobby walks in, fresh from the shower, toweling off. They chat a bit about her trip to Dallas and Digger's sobriety, but Pam just can't keep the secret bottled up. She wraps it up in a riddle. What do you get when you cross a Barnes with a Ewing? Bobby jokes that you never cross a Ewing, but she spills the answer, a boy or a girl. The penny drops for him, and the room just shifts. It's hugs, I love yous, and pure joy. A perfect, private moment. At least for now. Anyway. Oh! Look who's gracing the lawn, darling. Sue Ellen, working that senator like he's a campaign stock, she is. Perfect smile, perfect tone, and just enough charm to make him forget she's been wrangling this party prep all morning. Then comes the introduction. Ray, the ranch foreman, and his very good friend Maureen. And yes, darling, it's the same Maureen who was tearing up the disco with Ray not too long ago. Funny how a little glitter ball lighting can turn into a daylight +1, isn't it? The senator lays on the compliments. Sue Ellen slips him a glass of champagne and locks in a promise for a dance later. Effortless, elegant, and just a touch of, I'm running this party, and don't you forget it. Bobby and Pam, they glide into that party like they own the place. Well, technically Bobby kind of does, doesn't he? Smiles, handshakes, the whole gracious host routine. But oh, you can tell Bobby's got something burning a hole in his pocket, and it's not his wallet. The minute he peels away from Pam, he's letting that baby news fly to the nearest set of ears. No build-up, no grand toast, just straight to the headline. Can you believe it? Pam, meanwhile, spots Lucy and throws her a warm "don't you look cute." Lucy shrugs it off like she's underdressed for Grandma's party. But that outfit? Oh, there's drama stitched into it. Just subtle enough to keep the family from clutching their pearls. And just like that, congratulations start rolling in. The baby secret's out, the champagne's flowing, and Bobby's walking around like he just closed the biggest deal of his life. I just don't believe it. Well, would you look at this? JR is making his rounds, as usual, and today he's sporting a brand new accessory. Susan, fresh out of the Ewing oil offices, bless her heart. He introduces her to Lucy with that "oh so smooth, this is my niece" routine, as if Lucy doesn't already know exactly what's going on. Susan's polite as can be. JR spots someone else to schmooze, and before he's even out of earshot, Lucy's asking the real question. Who hired you, darling? When the answer comes back JR, Lucy just smiles that knowing smile and drops the line. He never misses a trick, does he? Translation? Uncle JR might be working the party, but he's also working the angles. And Lucy's got his number, the cheeky thing. Now look here. Miss Ellie's making her hostess rounds and stops to check in with Sam, one half of the catering dream team, with his wife Tilly. He's all smiles, reporting that this year's crowd is drinking faster than last year's. Ellie tells him to keep it flowing and, oh darling, you just know Tilly's gonna have something to say about that later. Then Ellie spots him, Willard Barnes, though everyone else still calls him Digger. The greeting is polite, almost warm, but there's a long, messy history sitting between them. Ellie says he looks nice. Digger fires back that she looks the same as always, which she calls a bit much, I must say. He introduces his nephew Jimmy, who's all respectful man and good manners. Ellie welcomes him and says she hopes he enjoys himself. Then she takes Digger by the arm, with a smile, saying they're going to rehash some ancient history. And darling, around here that usually means dusting off the kind of stories that get better with age, and grudges. Pam spies Jimmy and heads straight for him, she does. First thing she wants to know, where's Digger got himself to? Jimmy says he's with Miss Ellie, nervous as a rabbit, but still sober, bless him. Tam exhales like she's just been handed the best news all day, she does. She tells Jimmy she'll take him around, make introductions. Across the crowd, Bobby catches sight of them and calls out, "You take care of her now, you hear?" Before diving right back into his own mingling. It's less of a moment and more of a drive-by from across the lawn, really. Then Sam, half of that unstoppable catering duo with Tilly, corners Bobby. He's grinning, congratulating him on the baby news, and Bobby admits it's already the worst-kept secret at the party, the fall. Sam suggests Jock and Miss Ellie should hear it straight from them, and Bobby agrees, better find them before the gossip beats him to it. But at the Ewing barbecue? Before the gossip is a race even Bobby might not win, I'm afraid. Oh, the baby news? It's spreading faster than gossip at a funeral, and Lucy, bless her heart, she's throwing gasoline on the fire. She spies Ray, beckons him over with that smile. You know, the one that could sweeten tea. And Maureen, yes, Disco Maureen, is glued right there to his side. Lucy, she's playing it cool, like she ain't orchestrating the whole darn thing. She wonders if he's heard the news. Then bam, drops the bomb. Bobby and Pam are expecting. Ray, he mumbles. Oh, that's terrific. But honey, it's about as believable as a politician's promise. Lucy, she doesn't push, 'cause she ain't got her. She's already planted the seed, ain't she? Ray, quick as a wink, spins round to Maureen for another drink, trying to dodge the conversation. But mark my words, Lucy's sashaying away knowing she's just given him something to really chew on, and you know she'll be watching to see just how it all plays out. Well, over at the bar, Sam sidles up to Tilly, eyes glued to Jock, all alone, nursing a drink like it's his last lifeline. Sam mutters he might just be out cold right there before the day's done. Tilly's not surprised one bit. She's seen him sneak down 3 already, and it ain't like him to be hiding from his own guests. Then Sam, he drops the match into the gossip fire. Digger Barnes is in the house. Tilly's reaction? Pure disbelief, and a little bit of satisfaction, I must say. Sam keeps going, spelling it all out. Bobby's wife is Digger's daughter, so it was just a matter of time before Jock and Digger ran into each other again. Tilly figures, judging from the look of Jock, it happened way before he was ready for it. Then Sam delivers the real kicker. Pam's pregnant. Tilly lights up. Now that's news indeed. She wonders how Miss Ellie and Big Brother are gonna take that. Sam don't think they've heard a peep yet. Tilly leans in with the real question. Who's gonna throw the first punch? Sam says it's too soon to tell, but who's gonna be the first to get drunk? Tilly just nods her head toward Jock. Sam's verdict. Jock's already got a head start, darling. Jock's parked at the bar again, ordering another round from Tilly. Can you believe it? She assures him everything's under control. But oh, he just can't get past the fact that Digger Barnes is under his roof. Tilly reminds him it was bound to happen. Their kids are married after all. But Jock isn't feeling philosophical, not one bit. In his mind, if you listen to Digger, Jock Ewing's been the villain of the story going all the way back to original sin. He even raises a glass to it, dry as dust, I tell you. He starts reminiscing. How Digger says he stole his girl. How their paths first crossed because Digger's father worked for the Southworths, back when he and Ellie were just kids. Sweethearts came later, but the roots, oh, they go way back. That's when Bobby shows up, saying he's been looking for his father. He hints that he and Pam have something to tell Jock and Miss Ellie, and yes, it'll mean facing Digger. Jock admits it's one meeting he's not looking forward to, but Bobby promises this news will be worth it. And in Ewing country, worth it could mean a family celebration, or the calm before a storm. Oh Lord, Miss Ellie's got Digger on some little nostalgia trip, strolling round the ranch like she's showing him a live scrapbook. Bless her heart. And along the way, she just drops the truth. It's 1930, the Southworths are flat broke, and the ranch is just one bad season away from the auction block. Can you believe it? So naturally, she married Jock Ewing. Not for candlelight and poetry, mind you, but to keep the Southworth name on that mailbox. Ellie says it plain as day. Her family's made of this land, and letting it go was never an option, darling. Digger's trying to make sense of it all, but the way she tells it, there's just no room for what-ifs. Regrets? Not a one, darling. She and Jock made a good marriage, and yes, they love each other, of course. But she slips in that she's thought of Digger often, which is the kind of line you can only get away with while wearing pearls and perfect posture, my dear. By the time they're heading back toward the crowd, Ellie's reminding him to keep it moving before the gossip starts flying. And Digger? He just can't resist getting the last word in. Nobody calls him Willard anymore. Which, darling, is exactly the kind of thing you say when someone's just reminded you of who you used to be. Oh, darling, Lucy's still working that party like it's her own personal gossip mill. And oh, her next target? Sue Ellen. Bless her heart. Sue Ellen just sashays up to a gaggle of ladies, all smiles and not a clue she's about to be broadsided with the juiciest bit of news this side of the Mississippi. Lucy, that little minx, she tees it up all sweet, says, it's a celebration for a reason. And when Sue Ellen confesses she's clueless, bam, Lucy drops the bomb. Bobby and Pam? expecting. You can see the shock flicker across Sue Ellen's face, quick as a hummingbird's wings. But just like that, she's got her mask back on, congratulating Pam with just the right amount of southern charm. Then, wouldn't you know it, here comes Sam with a tray of champagne. Sue Ellen grabs a glass and practically inhales it, darling. The bubbles barely had time to say hello, then immediately reaches for another. 'Cause sometimes, my dear, the only thing you can do with news that knocks you sideways is just wash it on down. Right then, 2 glasses of bubbly and Sue Ellen's operating on pure top-shelf nerve she is. She clocks JR, grinning like a Cheshire cat, and heads right in for the jugular she does. She tells him his good humor clearly means he hasn't caught wind of the latest scandal. He tries to dodge with some Alamo nonsense, bless his heart the fool, but Sue Ellen corrects him sharply. Oh no, darling, this ain't the Alamo. This is your Waterloo. JR's trying to wriggle away with that senator, but Sue Ellen's having none of it. She reminds him that his baby brother Bobby, Daddy Jock's golden child, is in a marriage that's actually bearing fruit. Pam's expecting. Yes, indeed, the Barnes girl's about to give this family a proper Ewing heir. And then she really twists the knife. Jock's been dreaming of a grandson. And thanks to JR's utter lack of interest in her, Bobby might just beat him to it. She leaves him standing there, bless his heart, with a smile that says, chew on that, cowboy. Because if Sue Ellen's gonna throw shade, she's gonna make sure it sticks like Texas heat in August. She is. Oh, look who it is. Lucy spots Jimmy sitting all by his lonesome, looking every bit the newcomer. Bless his heart. Well, she decides she's got a moment for a bit of sport. She glides in, all smiles, and starts her little game. No dancing, he says? Claims he doesn't know how. And honey, Lucy's smirk just says, oh, I could certainly fix that, couldn't I? Then comes the rapid fire, darling. What does he do for fun? Pool. And not the swimming kind, mind you. Any good, she asks. Pretty good. He says, like he's bragging about winning a church raffle. Girlfriend? Nope. That's when she tilts her head, all faux innocence. You do like girls, right? Jimmy shoots back. Sure do. But the way he says it is pure hayseed. Polite, a little sly, and just vague enough to keep her chasing. She narrows it down. Not in that way, right? And he plays dumb like it's his superpower. Can you believe it? Lucy tries one last. Have you ever, And he still won't give her the satisfaction. She finally drops a breezy never mind and saunters off, leaving him in the dust. But make no mistake, darling, Lucy's not done. She's just letting the bait dangle.
The drama sparkles best when you're part of it. Subscribe and stay close, like a whispered secret. Leave a comment, tell us what has you gasping, because every scandal deserves an audience.
Sue Ellen's parked herself at a table full of older society ladies. And while they keep their posture perfect, the side eyes bouncing between them could start a brush fire. Couldn't they? She's not just tipsy. Oh no, darling. She's curating her buzz, alternating between a glass of white and a glass of red, like she's taste testing her emotions. She starts in on JR. How he works so hard and she shouldn't add to his pressures, the poor dear. But a wife has needs too, doesn't she? Unfulfilled needs, she declares, with the kind of frankness only 2 glasses at once can buy. She talks about keeping herself nice, taking care of herself, and how pride's the only thing keeping her from stepping outside the marriage. Then she drops it, wondering if Jock will love JR less now that Bobby's giving him the first grandson. And she answers herself without missing a sip. Yes, because Jock already loved him less to begin with, didn't he? What does she want? Just for JR to love her more. And, darling, she says it like that's the simplest thing in the world, all while swirling red in one hand, white in the other, and not spilling a drop. Well, butter my biscuits, if it ain't Bobby herding up the unholy trinity. Jock, Miss Ellie, and Digger, all standing together like they're auditioning for a church choir. Honey, it's the kind of sight that makes you want to check for flying pigs and the apocalypse. Jock's practically wrestling with the roast when Bobby puts his foot down. Bless his heart, saying this is family business, strictly VIP. Jock pivots faster than a twister, grilling Pam about why Digger even bothered showing up. Pam, sweet thing, just bats her eyes and says she begged him. Jock still ain't buying it, so Ellie, cool as a cucumber, drops the bomb that she's been giving Digger the grand tour, like they're two long-lost pals instead of ghosts from each other's past. Bobby tries to hurry things along. Ellie tells him to quit the dawdling and spill the tea, and honey, he does. Pam's in the family way. Ellie's grinning like she won the lottery, Jock's looking like he struck oil, and Digger, well, he's caught between puffing up with pride and making it the Digger show. Jock's already planning the nursery, hoping for a boy. Ellie teases him about living in the Dark Ages, and Pam lays down the gauntlet. She wants her little darling to have 3 grandparents in the same room without World War III breaking out. And how do they respond? With the politest nothing you ever did hear. No hugs, no nothing, just 3 folks standing shoulder to shoulder, agreeing to play nice, until the next round of drinks loosens someone's lips. Oh, for a hot second it's actually sweet, innit? Jimmy's beaming about his little royal tour of the ranch with Lucy, Pam smiling like the Cheshire Cat, and somewhere in the background, you can almost hear the soft hum of family harmony. Then Jock declares it's time for a drink, because if this news don't deserve a toast, nothing does, ducks. Bigger reminds him he's on the wagon, which Jock just steamrolls right over. He's already planning ponies and fancy bikes for the baby, like he's placing a custom order. And just like that, the truce snaps like a twig. Digger accuses him of taking everything, his daughter, and now his future grandson. Jock fires back with same old Digger Barnes. And Digger, with all the righteousness of a man who's been holding it in for decades, says he came here ready to forgive. Forgive for stealing, swindling, cheating, the whole rap sheet. Jock calls it barter business. Digger calls it crooked. Miss Ellie tries to cool it down. Pam pleads with them to stop, but the floodgates are open. Jock paints Digger as a drunk who would have gambled it all away. Digger insists Jock left him with nothing, and the insults start landing harder than the bourbon. By the time it's over, Digger's asking for a drink just like everyone else. Truce be damned. And that, darling, is how long peace lasts at a Ewing party. 1 drink order. It doesn't take much to tip Digger over, and before you know it, he's in the middle of the crowd, belting out the Yellow Rose of Texas, throwing in a little jig for good measure, with the audience equal parts amused and horrified. Bobby's had enough. He turns to Jock, accusing him of destroying the man. Jock's not having it. He barely considers Digger a man, and tells Bobby his baby will overcome the disadvantage of having Digger as a grandfather. That lands like a slap, and the two square off right there. Meanwhile, Digger's still crooning, demanding someone remind him how the second verse goes, swatting off anyone who tries to move him. Pam steps in, gently offering to take him home. He refuses, addressing her as Mrs. Ewing, like they're not related, so she shifts to plan B, get Jimmy to drive him. Digger shoots that down too, not wanting to ride with Jimmy Ewing. Bobby tells Pam they're leaving, but she's not going without sorting her father. And just when you think it can't get messier, here comes JR, drunk and grinning, tossing in a jab about proof of paternity, before charming Digger with faux camaraderie. JR calls the whole scene picturesque, and needles Bobby about how short the marriage has been. Bobby tells him to sober up, but JR toasts Digger instead, calling it the first thing they've ever agreed on in 20 years. And just like that, the family drama's got a fresh pour. So Pam heads towards the barn, calling up, "Jimmy! Oh, Jimmy, darling!" And when he appears, wouldn't you know it, he ain't alone. Lucy's already up there with him, looking like the cat that got the cream, if you catch my drift. Pam keeps it short and sweet. He's got to take Digger home. Jimmy plays it casual, but Pam's answer to something wrong says it all, doesn't it? "Not very good, dear." He asks if she's coming along, but she says she needs a minute to catch her breath before diving back into the party store. Lucy wastes no time volunteering to go with him, and Jimmy's fine with that, telling her to watch herself as they climb down. Pam tosses a polite apology for breaking up the party, but the look Lucy gives says, "This party was just getting interesting, wasn't it?" 'Cause darling, when you find Lucy and Jimmy tucked away in a barn during a Ewing barbecue, you can bet your bottom dollar it's not because they were checking on the livestock. Oh, darling, it's a scene straight out of one of those cautionary tales, isn't it? Picture this. A tipsy Sue Ellen perched on horseback, greeting Bobby with a shuddery, "Hello, brother-in-law," as if she hasn't been circling the open bar all afternoon. Then, JR shows up, grinning like the devil at a church picnic, and Sue Ellen just goes straight for the jugular, threatening to strip down and play Lady Godiva, just to see if it would finally turn him on. And when she adds that maybe then she could have what Pam has, oh, the air gets sharp enough to cut, doesn't it? JR, never one to leave well enough alone, pivots right into his heirs and Ewing speech, before taking the lowest shot of the day, calling Pam trash. That's when Bobby's fist does the talking. One clean hit, and JR is eating dirt. They don't even check if he's getting up. Bobby simply takes the reins, guiding a swaying Sue Ellen back toward the house, leaving JR sprawled on the ground, with nothing but his pride and whatever's left of his drink to keep him company. Because in the Ewing world, darling, there's simply nothing more dangerous than mixing family drama, public humiliation, and oh yes, a well-timed right hook. Oh Lord! JR finally manages to drag himself off the ground, reeking of whiskey and bad decisions, the usual. When he spots Pam up in the barn loft, the poor dear doesn't even know he's there, until his voice cuts through the air like a hot knife through butter, making her jump. He's slurring out what's supposed to be an apology, claiming he always goes too far. But the man's idea of making peace sounds more like a half-hearted sales pitch. Pam, cool as a cucumber, ain't buying a word of it. Then he starts talking about how moving out would split up the family, as if she's supposed to feel guilty for escaping his daily brand of poison. Pam's already backing away, ready to shut this conversation down for good, when it happens. One wrong step, a flash of shock across her face, and she's gone, tumbling from the loft into a pile of hay below. The whole barn goes quiet, and for once, even JR looks sober. Because darling, in the Ewing family, the biggest falls aren't always metaphorical, but they still make a thud, don't they? Lord, back at South Fork, the party's well and truly over, and so is the future Bobby and Pam were celebrating just hours ago. Bobby breaks the news. They done lost the baby, bless their hearts. No broken bones, mind you, but the doctor can't promise they'll ever be able to try again. JR, suddenly Mr. Sensitive, swears up and down he'd never hurt Pam. Too bad his apology sounds like a man rehearsing his defense. Bobby ain't buying it, and neither are we, darling. Pam, ever the peacemaker even through her pain, tells Bobby she loves him. He's ready to pack their bags and leave South Fork for good. But then Jock steps in. For once, he ain't barking orders. He's confessing that maybe the Ewings have had things their way for so long, they've forgotten how to just be people. And then comes the quiet plea from a father who's already lost one son. I don't want to lose another. It's the kind of line that hangs in the air like Texas heat. Bobby asks Pam if it was an accident. She says yes. Then, with every reason to run, she chooses to say, because in the Ewing family, love doesn't just conquer all, it signs a long-term lease, no matter how high the rent on your sanity, bless them. Sue Ellen, still trying to shake off her own disastrous night, doesn't bother with the sweet talk. She gets right to it. Did you push her, JR? His answer's quick, maybe a little too quick. I did not. Then comes the real dagger. Are you sorry she lost the baby? The silence between them speaks volumes, more than either one of you ever could. She changes the subject quick. Are you coming in? And JR, the king of control, is suddenly left standing alone in the dark. Some truths don't need to be spoken, do they? In the Ewing world, it's the things left unsaid, just hanging in the air, that really do the most damage.
Well, wasn't that deliciously messy? Miss Kane walked you through the drama, and trust me, the secrets are just starting to spill. But don't think it's over, darling. There's always another scandal waiting in the shadows. This has been Drama After Dark. Until next time, we'll be watching. We you.